Hi, this is Nikki Haverstock, and this is my author advice sort of section of my YouTube channel. So thank you for everyone who watched my first video. I'm going to be putting author advice in the title of all of these, so if you are not interested in this section, then you can see in the title, go look for My Sister Wife Recap or whatever. And if you are interested in this advice, on my homepage I should have a playlist that has all these videos in it. So thank you so much. Say hi in the comments. I decided to talk about kind of a defense of free ebooks. I have no idea on AuthorTube what the general consensus is, but this is coming from something that I was trying to think of, like, what do I feel passionately about that I have seen in other places like Twitter and Facebook that I think I have some valuable insight on, or something that I can share. So first off, and I'm going to really beat this drum endlessly, which is this advice might not work for you, and that is okay. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that you're an idiot if you don't follow this advice. I'm not saying that you're doing your business wrong. You, especially if you self-publish, you are the master of your career. That's the reason we self-publish, is so that we can make these decisions for ourselves and find out that with our what do our readers want? And I write cozy mysteries. They're very, I call them wholesome murders. And they, they do have a little bit of drinking, a little bit of flirting, but in general, I would say that they're kind of right down the middle of the cozy mystery genre. That is just who I am. I don't enjoy excessive gore. I don't want the dog to die. I don't want to have, I have crippling anxiety on my own. I don't want that from my books. That is what I enjoy. So my readers might be different than yours. If you're doing a gritty, epic fantasy, I can almost guarantee that the overlap between us is going to be pretty minor. So if this does not work for you, then I understand, and more power to you to follow what you want to do. But I want to talk about the free ebook, my attitude around it, and the results I've seen, and maybe I touch a little bit on why some people might say that it doesn't work. So I will say that this advice is particularly useful for someone who has books out in a series, probably at least 3 books out in the same series. And you'll kind of see why. So the theory behind free ebooks, is that you give away your ebook for free. Readers find it, they read it, they buy the rest of your backlist. That's how you make money on it, is that you hook them with usually the first book. I sometimes will do and this I'll get into, I rotate through almost my entire backlist, except usually the last book in the series, unless it's been more than a year. After a year, I kind of feel like if you were going to buy it, then you've already bought it. In terms of, I've never really gotten a complaint from someone. Well, I shouldn't say I have never gotten a complaint from someone who said, I just bought this book and now I see it's free. If they did, I would just say, hey, no problem, here's a link to a different free book. That's just how I work. Or I just say, I'm really sorry, or, join my newsletter. Because I give away, virtually every week I give away a free ebook. So I have 14 books, that's 6 in a series, 6 in a series, 2 in a series, 5 in a series, 1. But then I also have bundles. So my first series of 6 books, I have 2 book bundles. So I have 2, 2, 2, so that's 3 more. And then in the 5 book series, I have 2 book bundles, and then I have a 5 book bundle. And some of these series, like the first series, I haven't released in 3 years. So all of those books I'm giving away for free at various times, and I have hooked a lot of readers. And part of this comes from, we are in a different time. When I last lived someplace that had a bookstore, so I lived in a very rural community that had no bookstore for a long time. But before that, when I was reading only paperbacks, I used to go to a used bookstore, and what they had was what they had. And they were $2 a book, and I would buy hundreds of dollars worth of brown paper bags full of used books, and I would read everything. I read across all genres. I am no longer that reader. I'm now very specifically in clean. Cursing doesn't really bother me, and on-page sex doesn't really bother me. Specifically, I don't want excessive gore, torture. I won't do anything with kidnapped kids, kids in peril. I'm just sort of, you can call me a wimp and that's fine. And I totally respect that. That's not a value judgment on if you read different things. I am just this open nerve that just cannot handle that. that's some of the things in my life, having a child, we've had a really rough couple of years. There's just a lot going on. That's just who I am as a reader. Okay. So, but what I can tell you is that when I switched to ebooks, I got burned a lot. Shiny covers with, I'll get into what no editing means, but when I got into the content, this is not what I want. This is not what I felt like I was promised in the blurb or the cover. Books that, I don't know how quite to say it, but we've all been burned by paying money for a book and then finding out it's not exactly what you expected. And so the free book helps, and I'm not the only reader who feels that way. There's a lot of readers who are very cautious, and things you can get over that are word of mouth. If everyone is talking about this author, sometimes you see USA Today, author, and you go, oh, they must be good. That's a whole nother thing, but a really cute cover, a really great written blurb. Maybe I don't read samples very often, but a lot of people do. They read samples. And so, but the free book is a great way to find out. This is a great way of being like, okay, we're going to go on a test date first, and we're going to find out if this is what I'm interested in. You can have perma-free, which means that the first book in your series is always free. It's going to be like that for weeks. And the only way to do that is to be in wide distribution, which means that you are available on multiple vendors, because you have to set your price to 0 on one of those vendors to get Amazon to price match. So you can have perma-free. I am in the Kindle Unlimited program. That is just where I have been able to make my money. And for that, you get, for every 90-day cycle, you get 5 free days, and I rotate through them. I have enough books in my catalog to where I can rotate. I can use like 2 or 3 days every week. And every single week, I send to my newsletter, I will say 3 out of every 4, I will send them a free book. And I will say, here's a free book. I usually get about 200 to 300 downloads from my newsletter every time I do that. Now, some authors have very strong feelings about that, and they say, oh, those are just free seekers. I don't want those people on my newsletter. And I feel very differently. This is my choice to put my books up for free. I've truthfully never had anyone reach out to me and say, you need to put this book for free. That might just be because I'm not at that success level to where people are doing that. It just could be luck. I don't know. But I do that almost every week. If I have some big news like a new release, a cover reveal, a particularly good promotion, I won't put that in because I want like the main big thing to be that. But I am the one who chooses to give away my books for free. So why would I resent when people download them? They're doing me a favor. They're improving my rank. If you believe that rank improves visibility, which depending on kind of your school of thought on how the Amazon algorithm works, you either might feel that or you might not. But what I see is that when I run, if I have a book for free and we get called organic downloads, which just means people who stumble across it and download, I don't advertise it or anything. If I look at that number and then the next day I advertise it to my newsletter and I see how many people clicked, and then I look at how much above that how many additional people download it, I will usually see that additional number is bigger than it was with my organic. So for me, I think there is something to be said for if more people download the book, more people find it. And that's because when Amazon sees that something is being engaged with, downloaded, when your book is free, you get a lot of KU downloads. I don't know whether it's just that books are so plentiful in KU to where they don't want to keep it. I don't really know what it is. I don't know if they accidentally click the wrong button and get it and they think they're downloading it. Because when it's free, it still says buy here versus read for free. The read for free is the KU. Anyway, now I will say I have a very large newsletter list. I should say, I have 11,000 on my newsletter list, and I've cleaned out a lot of people who haven't opened an email, have never clicked, have not opened the email in several, like a year, and I specifically sort them. I keep all of my newsletters sorted by where I got these people, so I don't remove anyone who is in my organic list where they signed up for my newsletter. And I will have that link below. So if you're like, man, you give away a book every week, tell me how to get it. I will put my newsletter link below. And if I upload this today, I probably have a book for free. And if not, I'll have a book for free in 4 days. So you can just kind of check that out. I have the links for all my books down below. They're affiliate links, so I get a little kickback if you buy anything. But you can snoop, you can see, you can go look at my page, you can see if this advice is worth taking. But so anyway, my point being, it's 11,000. It's not all fluff. But I don't have a problem. We tell people as authors, don't pirate us. This is so harmful. There's all these free books, but then some people seem to be kind of like resentful that people download it. If you want to get on my list and you want to download my entire backlist for free, have at it. I do not mind. For me, it's a perfectly fair trade. I'm super happy to have those subscribers. They improve my rank. Maybe they become real fans and join my ARC list. All of that. So, but what I do see from I'm getting all wound up here. What I do see is that this works. This works for me because every week I have my free days and then I see a small bump in my sales. And you can see it because let's say I put book 2 for free. So the second book in the series, within a couple days, it is not unusual to see someone buy 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 or something like that. And it just looks really obvious because I have Book Report, which is an app that shows you real time. It updates your book sales. It's hooked into your KDP account. Like I said, I'm in Kindle Unlimited, so I'm all on Amazon. You can get stuff that update to the other ones as well. So I can see, and I can see that, I check it obsessively, which is not healthy. I'm not recommending you do that. But I can see it really clearly because 1 minute I'll have this, and then the next minute I'll have one sale. Or I'll see a huge increase in people buying 1. So I give away 2 for free. My book 1 in the particular series I'm mentally thinking about is 99 cents. You'll see a big increase in that because people will say, oh, I got book 2 for free, but I don't want to read out of order. Oh, it's 99 cents. I'll just go ahead and grab it. That works best with book 1 is the best, but you can't do that all the time. Book 2, I would say about once every 3 or 4 months, I do a big free push where I put the book for free and I get a bunch of ads on places like ENT, Robin Reads, Book Basset. I have a whole list in my on my computer, and I'll kind of rotate through them. Certain ones are better, but you can't do them too often because the readership tends to be you cycle. And I always apply for a BookBub. If you are not familiar with BookBub, if you are a reader, you should be, and go sign up for the other ones as well. But BookBub has millions and millions and millions and millions of readers. I think there's 3 million readers in Cozy Mystery alone. It's very, very competitive. You pay for a Cozy Mystery, I think it's right around $800 for a free book. And so and it goes up from there. So every day they email out a list of books that are free, 99 cents, $1.99, sometimes $2.99. And it really depends. If you are a traditionally published author, you might be able to get I've gotten a 99-cent deal for international only. That's it. The rest have been free deals. I don't get them very often. I get them on average about once every 15 months since I started, and I am way overdue. It's really discouraging, but I probably apply every 3 days and I cycle through my backlist. But the reason why so it's not uncommon for beginners to say, BookBub, why in the world would you pay $800 to give your book away for free? So the reason why is because like the very first time I had one, which was, I'm going to say 4 years ago, 4 years, 3 months or something, I gave away 50,000 copies. Oh my gosh. Now, if even 1 in 100 of those people go on and bought book 2, which was out at that time, so that is 500, we're talking about a couple $1,000s. They didn't, mind you. I only had 1 book out, so that's the problem. But people trust BookBub, and so when a book is listed, and it's very, 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 very competitive. I literally have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rejections for my 3 acceptances, and I've only gotten in 1 series, and not my most popular series, unfortunately. So the idea is you give away free books. people buy through. And it used to be crazy effective. Now let me talk about something. I encounter people relatively consistently that say free does not work. Now, first of all, does not work. Work is a really loaded term. If it is someone that you are on good terms with, you might say, well, what do you mean by work? Because for some people, for me, when I hear work, it means a positive ROI. It cost me $800 and I made $800 over what I normally would. I would say that works because I'm not losing money. I think that any time that I break even and get my book into people's hands is a positive for me. Okay, and I will talk about that a little bit more, why that is. Also, I feel like just having my name sort of out in the ethos, that's part of that marketing idea. People need to see your name 7 times. I want people to recognize my name. I want people to think, oh, Nikki Haverstock, I've seen her stuff before. And I was in an anthology with some wonderful authors last fall, and they had a Facebook party. And it was like, enter here. Every author had a post, and it was like, if you're interested in winning the first in series from this author, say something. And so I had my post, and I was really surprised. I had dozens and dozens of people who said, yeah, I've heard of her books, but I've not picked one up yet. And I was like, oh, that's good. I want people to say that because it creeps into their brain, and then they recognize the name, so they assume that's a good thing. And then maybe next time they're looking for a series about a mage with a black cat familiar and a dog that breathes fire, they'll come and pick up my book. You know, next time they're in the mood for that. So when I dug into some people, when they say it doesn't work, what they mean is maybe they put it for free, but they didn't advertise it. Maybe they didn't tell their newsletter list because they're scared they'll be mad that they bought the book instead of getting it for free. If my 11,000 people on my newsletter list bought all my books, I would be set. I would be fine. I could release 1 book a year. Okay, we'll say 2 books a year and I would be fine. I could pay all my household bills. So obviously, before you make the jump, they are not all buying my books yet. But I have a chance to lure them in. And and I talked to someone else who was saying free does not work. They said BookBub no longer works. And I was like, really? That's so surprising. I've always made positive. And so I asked about it. And the response was along the line of, this was an author who'd been in the industry since 2011. Their response was, yeah, when I first did BookBub, I made $10,000 a month. And now I don't make that. And I'm like, okay, well, yes, I admit that it does not work the way it used to. But for me, anything that's a profit is a benefit to me. That's one thing. When people talk about it not working, that could be why. Another reason is that it couldn't be working is if you don't have books to sell through, or you advertise a book in a series that doesn't have. People have said with BookBub and a lot of these free pushes, you don't see people jump. They stay in one series, and that's not uncommon. What I have seen more and more is people who will read all in one series, and then all of a sudden one day all of another series will sell, and then a week later all of another series will sell, and you'll see it because it'll be like 1, 1, 1, 1, like one sale in book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My assumption is this is someone who, this is like a friend. They're friends with you. They know what to expect, and they kind of go, yeah, I want more of that flavor. I want more of this. They've gotten to know my voice well enough to where they say I'm all in, and that is something else I want to get into, which is, and I've heard this from people, they go, I have worked too hard on this book to give it away for free. And in their head, they feel that and this is my big point. I don't know why I buried it at the end, but this is my big point, which is a lot of people say or feel their book is too valuable to give away for free. And this is my attitude, which is, I have so much faith in my books that I feel like if I could just get people to read one, they will buy the rest. For me, giving away a free book is how much I value it. This is a great book. I really think that if people read it and they like it, they will continue. Now, are there people who get it for free and hate it? Yes. Go read my reviews, especially on book 1. And there are a lot of people who would prefer I never wrote again. That is their business. Reviews are for readers. I'm not going to say I love it, but that opinion is is totally value, and I stand behind that they're right to feel that way. But those people, they get book one for free. It didn't really cost me anything. If they don't like it, please don't read. If you don't like my first book, please don't read my second. Sometimes people will be like, well, I'll give it another shot. Oh, please don't. You don't like it, please, there's plenty of other authors you can go read. But people do enjoy the book. They get what I'm doing. They're like, I feel, if you're the kind of reader I am, they're safe with me. I'm not going to suddenly kill off the dog. You know, I'm not going to suddenly refuse to catch the killer. I have a promise to them it's going to be a little snarky, a little silly, but they kind of know what that promise is. So for me, giving away free books is my belief that my books are strong enough to where they will see them, they will read them, and they will want more, and they'll be willing to pay for it. And if they just read them in KU, that's awesome, because I get paid for that as well. So if you have any questions on free books, if you have any questions on topics that you'd like me to hear, that you'd like to hear about, you'd like me to speak on, please hit me up in the comments. Tell me where you are on your writer's journey. I'd like to know if this is like too advanced a topic. Should I start off a little bit, you know, like you're not there yet, you need to finish your first book? Just let me know. I am super excited to be part of this community. Thanks.